Hey guys, how you doing? George here. I'm at the beach here. Lovely day, doing just got done swimming in the ocean, and now I'm doing a little meditating up by this baby coconut tree here. And I thought I would just share a couple tips on and how to develop more confidence. I've had a couple people who've asked me, recently about public speaking, and I'm a wedding officiant. I marry people, and I've had a couple people ask me, say, yeah, I would really love to, do that as well as a little part-time business or something, to become a wedding officiant, or I would love to get into Toastmasters and do speaking in front of other people. The problem is I don't have, that just seems so scary to me to speak in front of other people. And so I thought I would share a couple of tips, because I was definitely not a natural at public speaking by any means. Quite the opposite. I was horrible. When I was in college, I remember I would get terrified when they, in the beginning of the semester, when they would sometimes go around and they would have everybody in the class, stand up and just say their name so that everybody in the class could get to know each other. I would be frightened out of my mind just doing that. I remember getting sick to my stomach just thinking that it'd be almost my turn. And so I started out really, really bad, but I learned some things along the way that have helped me, and so I thought I would share some of them with you guys, and in case any of you are looking to become better at public speaking and become more confident in general. And one of them is that I had a shift in my paradigm when I learned something about that, really, as we become addicted to other people's reaction, the validation of other people. We do things and we seek approval from other people. For example, going up and presenting someone with an idea, a business opportunity, approaching a woman that you like or something like that, or whatever. And if we think in our mind, if things don't work out favorably, that we take it personal. We take it as a rejection on us. And it's because that we are addicted to that other person's reaction, where I learned that instead of becoming addicted to other people's reactions and seeking approval and validation from other people, to become addicted and fall in love with my own actions. Instead of other people's reactions, fall in love with the action. It has letting go of emotional attachment to the outcome, meaning that if for example, if you do approach somebody, about a business idea, or you're going up to approach a girl that you think is pretty or something like that, regardless of what the outcome of that situation, just leaving that situation being proud that you made action, that you took action, and in shifting your paradigm from seeking that validation of approval to falling in love with your own action. So that was a big paradigm shift for me. But what happens is throughout our life, everything that we know in the way the world in which we see it, all comes from neural connections that have been established. Say, for example, my daughter, she, when sometimes I cook with her, and I remember one time, she touched I told her not to, and she touched the frying pan, and it burnt her. And now she knows not to touch the frying pan, and that has been a neural connection in her mind that has been established. And so a lot of times in our mind, we associate pain with certain situations. Maybe when you were a kid, you went to, walk up to a girl in the playground you thought was cute, and next thing you know, she said, "Ew, you have cooties, get away from me," or whatever, and then all of a sudden, 20 years later, when you see a pretty woman, you still remember pain associated with that because of that neural connection that was created a long time ago. And so there are ways that you can literally reverse that neural connection and create new neural pathways. And one of them that I learned, that I still practice, is to actually do the exact opposite. Create pain when you don't do something that you want to do. For example, many times I wear a rubber band on my wrist, or some sort of rubber bracelet or something like that, so that if I'm in a situation where it's something that would require me to be bold to do it, and all of a sudden I start coming up with these excuses in my mind as to why I'm not going to do it. I'm too tired, or whatever, this or that. I will take the bracelet and I'll snap it, and it'll create a pain associated with not doing it. So it's the exact opposite. Instead of having pain from doing the situation, you're getting pain from not doing it. And so I'll say to myself, you know, what would I do if I was 10 times bolder in this situation? And I don't want to snap the rubber band and create that pain. So instead I'll go and do what it is that I'm, you know, nervous about doing to create a new neural pathway. And then the last step that I would really, you know, advise is that, you know, you got to be patient. I mean, it takes time, and that's why I'm a big one on meditation. I'm meditating right now, and I think meditation really teaches you patience. I wasn't always good at meditating. I remember you know, when I first started doing it, I would think, oh my gosh, has it been, you know, 20 minutes yet? Oh my gosh, you know, this is taking forever. And that's the one thing that meditation teaches you. It teaches you to be patient, to be present in the moment. And you know, and you really start to learn a lot about life as you meditate. And I think, for example, I look out at the waves out there, and you know, I see them, you know, all of a sudden a wave will form, it'll roll on into the sand, and then it'll roll back out into the ocean again. And I think our lives are a lot like that. You know, we're only here just for such a short time. I mean, if we're alive for, you know, 50 to 100 years, that's nothing in the whole span of how long the world has been, and we're just like a wave. And so, you know, that impact that we want to be in that short time all depends on the courage that we have and the boldness to be able to step out in the face of our fears. Because really, you know, that little wave, just like it just has a small impact going, and then it goes right back into the ocean, comes right back to where it came from. That's going to be us as well. So we want to, in this short lifetime that we have, to step out of our comfort zone and create the neural pathways in our mind, to create better feelings that are going to lead us to a more promising future and the type of life that we want to create. All right, guys. Well, with that, I'm going to get back to meditating. Namaste.